All right, President Cyril Ramaphosa today in the Eastern Cape on the 9th Imbizo, of course, speaking to community members. We are joined now by SABC News Reporter Natasha Phiri in Tsomo in the Eastern Cape, where that 9th Imbizo concluded a short while ago. Natasha, thank you for being with us. Tell us how he was received, what are residents saying? And I don't suppose the President spoke about his predecessor being, his sentence being remissed or a remission on his sentence for former President Jacob Zuma.
Well, thank you so much, Francis. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a one-on-one with him. I actually tried earlier on in the previous crossing with the other colleagues. And of course, the presidential spokesperson, Vincent Magwenya, also spoke to that issue. We also managed to get UDM leader Bantolo Misa's reaction to that. And both gentlemen saying that, listen, everything is above board. There's nothing special about the former President Jacob Zuma, as other, inmates were actually involved in this process. But coming down to the business of the day, you'd asked whether and how the president was received. Well, he was well received. Of course, this was the last Imbizo, and of course, there was a show of force here in this province. As over 10,000 people actually came here. They actually had a bigger marquee, which was actually full to capacity, and of course, an overflow section. But to close it off all for us, I'm joined by the Premier of the province, the host province. Premier, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. The last Imbizo. A lot of money was actually dedicated to various projects, in the area. But speaking to the MEC of Kokta, the Minister of Kokta earlier on, Ms. Temi Kadimeng, she wasn't happy with the implementation of some projects within this province. Do you share those sentiments? And as the Premier, if your deployees or if, council's officials do not implement the projects that were actually announced here, what source of recourse will they be?
Thank you very much. Good evening to viewers as well. We are hard at work in the province. I can tell you, slowly but surely, we are turning the tide. Challenges that we've inherited, we're coming from a very low base, as we've been saying, but we're getting somewhere. We're very clear, and we're just following a very clear vision of our PDP as well as the 2030 vision. We've been having, I must be honest, local government sphere has been our weakest link, but there is a lot of improvement, a lot of dedication, commitment that our comrades are showing, those who are deployed into that space. We've put up mechanisms of supporting them, whether it's 154. In the past, we used to jump into this 139 when municipalities are not doing well. We've seen it doesn't work. It's better to support municipality, do skills transfer, make all the necessary capacity you need there for municipalities to function. These are rural municipalities, small. There's no way that they will be sustainable. They cannot generate any revenue for them to be able to have a proper service delivery program, etc. They rely heavily on conditional grants. They rely heavily on what comes from equitable share. We are improving. I can tell you from the last MFMA financial audits, we made a great improvement in that space. At about 50% of our municipalities were at unqualifications, as compared from the past where you used to talk disclaimers and adverts and all that. So there's a lot of improvement. So everyone is focused. We are hard at work. We have told everyone that we cannot continue entertaining issues of money that is not spent. We continue demanding more money. This province needs double of what it gets for it to be able to address the challenges that we have. We've got a huge backlog. If you talk about roads here, 90% of our roads here are rural roads and are gravel roads. 10% are surface roads. So it tells you a situation that we have. We need a support. The DDM brings that support. We have seen this support on our social infrastructure rollout plan. If you look at education, if you look at health, we're doing a wonderful job in that space. So municipalities, we are focusing on them because they must also focus on LED. For us to address the issues of unemployment, inequalities, they must come up with a clear plans of local economic development strategy. So we are looking at that, and I've said to everyone, let's focus on microeconomics. Talk about factories. Where can we get factories? Where do we get investors to come our way to come and invest in our province? So we are in that work.
Okay. Premier, thank you so much. And of course, a beneficiary of the DDM today, we heard that there is a project that has been awarded to a local woman, a local businesswoman in the area, and through that, she will be empowering other women around the Chris Hani district. And this is Mam Clara. Mam Clara, shortly, unfortunately, we've run out of time. You're one of the beneficiaries. We heard the president also had mentioned you inside, the tent. Just clarify to us, and perhaps just tell us what this project entails, how many people will be benefiting from that, and at least we can see that you've clearly benefited from this DDM model here in Tsomo today.
Thank you very much, ma'am. My name is Clara Sigalelo Sotlulashe, born in the Eastern Cape and also residing in Gauteng. I'm representing the South African women in construction in the entire country, and I've been here since yesterday morning, because there was a session of the public works that I came for. I think my main objective of running around the ministers and the president is to see the 40% set aside empowerment, if they are really implementing it. But now, in this place where we are today, I'm very proud of the department and also the government of South Africa that they've empowered the woman contractor to do the project that will be around here. And what made me happy is that woman, it's definitely sure that she will empower other women. Whether she is a woman in construction on the SAWIC side or not SAWIC side, I'm here for women empowerment. And also
unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to do this. We have to cut this short. We're actually running out of time there, but I promise you there will be a follow-up interview. This is not the end of the Imbizos. There will be a second round. And of course, as SABC News, we promise we will be crisscrossing these provinces and ensuring that all these issues have been implemented. Thank you so much, Mam Clara. Thank you so much. That was, of course, Mam Clara. And of course, speaking on Women's Month, saying that her task or her issue will be to ensure that there is accountability from the side of government. Also saying that women should be empowered. And of course, through this very, DDM Imbizo that actually descended upon here in this municipality, Francis, women contractors will be benefiting directly from this program. So I guess this is it. The first round of the Imbizo has been closed off. The second round of the Imbizo will be then launched soon, and this is the implementation part where ministers will be going back to the various municipalities and back here again to ensure that all these projects that were announced will actually gain fruition. And if those local officials and local municipalities do not implement these various projects, heads will roll. With that said, it's been a pleasure bringing you all these 9 Imbizos crisscrossing the country for over 16 months, I beg your pardon, Francis. From the SABC team right here, it's back to you in studio.
Always a pleasure to chat to you. Thank you, SABC News reporter Natasha Phiri, wrapping up those Imbizos.